While millions are preparing to look at the sky tomorrow, many others are doing all they can to avoid it. For some Native American tribes, the eclipse isn't a celebration, but more of a mourning. All new tonight at 10, 5 News reporter Jose Carranza talked to a local member of the Navajo tribe about her beliefs.
One of the biggest forms of taboo in Navajo culture is death. That's something that we don't really acknowledge or like to talk about. And when it does happen, it's dealt with very quickly. And an eclipse is essentially a disturbance or the death of the sun. And he's considered a father figure in Navajo culture. He is the reason why we have everything, our plants, our harvesting. We're essentially mourning his disappearance at this time. So we're trying to be very dormant in our regular routine. I'll be following my traditional practices and making sure that I'm not doing any heavy household work, any work in general, making sure that I'm not eating or taking any water during this time. Growing up in a very closed community with a lot of Navajos, everyone knows all these rules, so you don't necessarily feel alone or isolated in these instances. But moving out into the rest of the United States, there's definitely instances where I was attending school in New York and there was an eclipse happening, and I had to shoot my professor an email saying, hey, I cannot attend today's class because there's an eclipse happening. And the fact that I can't look at these things makes me a little disappointed, but I honestly don't mind following my traditions because they're there for a reason. I actually recommend people who are posting about eclipses to do some form of trigger warning for a lot of tribes because some of us have very similar beliefs. And by seeing eclipses can, infringe on our beliefs, or it can be seen as taboo.
Little Feather says while hundreds of thousands are traveling into the natural state, she's actually running away from the eclipse and headed to Wisconsin. Despite being outside the path of totality, she will still follow her traditions.